Inside almost every office, there are two kinds of employees. The first kind works loudly. They want everyone to notice how busy they are. They talk constantly about pressure, about deadlines, about how exhausted they feel, and sometimes they genuinely work hard. But then there's another type of employee, much quieter, less dramatic, less emotional, less visible. Yet somehow, these are often the people who slowly become valuable inside the company. They get trusted with bigger projects. Managers depend on them more. Co-workers respect them more. And one day, without warning, they get promoted. Everyone looks shocked. People say, how did they move ahead so fast? But the truth is, their success did not happen suddenly. It was being built quietly for years. Because in modern workplaces, the biggest career advantages are usually invisible at first, and most employees never even notice them happening. Most employees think companies reward hard work, but companies actually reward something more important: relief. Businesses are constantly under pressure: deadlines, clients, revenue targets, internal politics, unexpected mistakes. Managers wake up every day dealing with problems. So when an employee enters the system and quietly reduces stress, they immediately become more valuable. Not because they work 18 hours a day, but because they make life easier. They send organized updates. They communicate clearly. They don't create confusion. They solve small issues without needing constant supervision. And slowly, people begin trusting them. That trust becomes powerful. Because inside companies, trust saves time, and time is money. This is why some average-looking employees keep growing faster than highly talented but chaotic people. Because talent creates possibilities, but reliability creates stability, and businesses are addicted to stability. One hidden habit of successful employees is extremely simple. They do not disappear. Average employees often force managers to constantly follow up. Did you finish it? What's the update? Did the client reply? Why is this delayed? Over time, this becomes mentally exhausting. Smart employees understand this psychological burden. So instead of waiting to be asked, they proactively update people. Even short messages matter. Task completed. Waiting for approval. Client responded. I found an issue and already fixed it. These tiny actions reduce uncertainty. And uncertainty is one of the biggest stress triggers inside workplaces. That's why proactive communication feels professional. Because professionalism is often less about intelligence and more about reducing confusion. Most new employees believe offices run fairly. Then reality hits them. They realize promotions are not always logical. Recognition is not always fair. And hard work alone is not always enough. This frustrates many people. But smart employees react differently. Instead of becoming emotional, they become observant. They study office psychology. They notice who actually influences decisions, who controls information, who managers secretly trust, who talks well under pressure, who stays calm during chaos. Because eventually they understand something uncomfortable. Corporate life is deeply emotional. People promote people they trust. People support people who feel safe. People avoid people who create emotional tension. And once employees understand this, their behavior changes completely. They stop trying to win every argument. They stop correcting everyone publicly. They stop turning meetings into ego battles. Because mature professionals know something important. Being respected matters more than being technically right all the time. Most employees only care about reputation after a problem happens. Smart employees protect it every single day. Because reputation inside offices spreads silently. A single emotional outburst, a rude email, constant negativity can slowly damage opportunities nobody even tells you about. Managers begin hesitating. Coworkers become careful. Trust quietly weakens. And the dangerous part? Nobody announces this directly. Career damage inside companies is usually silent. That's why smart employees are extremely careful about emotional control. Not fake, not robotic, just disciplined. They understand that every interaction leaves a memory. Every meeting, every deadline, every stressful situation. People are constantly forming opinions, and over time, those opinions become your professional identity. One of the most underrated career advantages is emotional stability. Inside stressful offices, panic spreads fast, deadlines explode, clients complain, managers lose patience, and during these moments, most people become emotional. They complain loudly, blame others, create drama, spread negativity. But smart employees do something different. They slow down, they speak carefully, they focus on solutions, they remain controlled, and this changes how people see them psychologically. Because calmness under pressure creates authority. Even when someone has no official leadership title, humans naturally trust emotionally stable people during uncertainty. That's why some employees quietly become influential without trying. Their emotional control makes others feel safe, and safety creates leadership perception. Most careers collapse slowly, not suddenly. People stop learning, stop adapting, stop improving. Then one day, technology changes, industry standards shift, layoffs happen, and suddenly they realize they were standing still for years. Smart employees avoid this trap. They continuously upgrade themselves quietly. Not for motivation, not for social media, for survival. They improve communication skills, learn new software, understand AI tools, study business trends, practice presentation skills, little by little, month after month, year after year. And eventually, their value becomes difficult to replace. The scary part is that skill growth is invisible at first. Nobody notices small improvements daily. But after years, the difference becomes massive. That's when coworkers suddenly say, wow, they're naturally talented, even though most of that talent was built privately over time. Many employees confuse visibility with noise. Smart employees understand the difference. They don't constantly brag. They don't dominate every meeting. They don't try to look important every second. Instead, they position themselves strategically. They contribute valuable ideas occasionally. They document achievements properly. They make sure decision makers understand their impact. Because invisible work often stays invisible forever, and companies cannot reward value they never see. This is why some employees work incredibly hard for years, yet remain stuck. Their contribution exists, but their positioning does not. Meanwhile, someone else communicates their value more effectively and moves ahead faster, not always because they work harder, but because people understand what they contribute. One hidden trait shared by successful employees is simple. People enjoy working with them. That sounds basic, but inside companies, it changes everything. Managers avoid high-drama employees. Teams avoid emotionally exhausting coworkers. Leaders avoid unpredictable personalities. Because difficult people consume energy, even if they are talented. Smart employees understand this deeply. So they make collaboration easier. They respect deadlines, respect time, respect communication. They don't create unnecessary tension. And slowly, their names start appearing in important opportunities. Because when leaders build teams, they don't just ask, who is skilled? They also ask, who will make this project smoother? Average employees think about surviving the week. Smart employees think about building leverage for the next decade. That changes their decisions completely. They understand careers compound slowly. One relationship today may create an opportunity 5 years later. One extra skill today may double income later. One reputation mistake today may silently block future promotions. So they stop chasing short-term emotional satisfaction. They stop reacting impulsively because they understand something powerful. A career is not one big moment. It is thousands of small behaviors repeated consistently, and eventually, those tiny behaviors create enormous separation between people. The truth is, most careers are not destroyed by lack of intelligence. They are destroyed by invisible habits, poor communication, emotional reactions, negativity, comfort addiction, lack of adaptability, office ego battles. And the dangerous part? People rarely notice the damage while it's happening, because career decline usually feels normal in the beginning, until suddenly, someone else has moved far ahead. That's why smart employees focus on invisible improvements, not dramatic changes, small daily advantages. Because over years, small advantages become massive advantages. At the end of the day, the employees who quietly build powerful careers are usually not superheroes. They are not always the smartest people in the office. Sometimes, they are simply the people who mastered invisible habits earlier than everyone else. Reliability, emotional control, preparation, communication, reputation, adaptability. None of these look exciting in a single moment, but repeated for years, they completely transform a person's career. And maybe that's the biggest lesson modern offices never openly teach. Success inside companies is rarely built loudly. It is built silently, through habits nobody notices, until the results become impossible to ignore. If you enjoyed this deep documentary-style video, subscribe for more videos about psychology, careers, money, modern work culture, and hidden human behavior. Because sometimes, the most important lessons in life are the ones nobody explains directly.